What's up everyone, it's Eric here, and on the eve of The Division's release date, I thought I'd give you guys a quick video on the 3 things I think The Division needs in order to be a great game. Right now, I'd say The Division is a good game, it's around a 7 or 8 out of 10, but it's not quite there. Luckily for Ubisoft and Massive Entertainment, I've narrowed everything they need into 3 simple categories. First and foremost, they've got to give us great endgame content. And with great endgame content, needs to be an engaging world and environment. On top of all that, they need to give us better player interaction and customization. So let's get into the nitty gritty here and dive right into great endgame content. The key to any good RPG having good endgame content is a diverse and fun hunt for loot. They need to accomplish this in both PvE and PvP, not just one or the other. Fun and challenging raid type content is going to be essential on the PvE side of things. Random encounters and new ways to play, like maybe a horde mode, will keep things interesting for a long time to come. In their year 1 content video, they said the following about their first update.
Incursions will introduce the first of an all-new challenging in-game activity developed specifically for squad play. This incursion will pit you and your squad against a seemingly unstoppable force and reward you with some powerful new weapons and equipment.
On the PvP side, they need to keep things fresh with things like public events that happen randomly in the Dark Zone. I'm not talking about silly milestone events like get 1 million headshots or kill 500,000 cleaners as a community. I'm talking about Destiny-esque events that happen randomly in real time. Maybe a King of the Hill type thing pops up and the last squad standing in a certain area instantly extracts some cool loot. Things like that would be awesome, and maybe even something on a bigger scale. They also vaguely mentioned the following about their second update.
The second update will change the way you play in the Dark Zone. It will also add a new incursion in the iconic Columbus Circle.
All they said there was that it would change the way we play in the Dark Zone, so I'm looking forward to that, whatever that is. However, since the first incursion comes out in April and the second one comes out in May, we can already guess that they aren't going to be nearly as big or grand as the raids in Destiny are. Hopefully the game's less bullet spongy nature means that they don't have to be. I'm not going to mention any of the stuff they plan to add in the expansions because I don't consider those to be a part of the game. They're a part of the season pass. So let's move on to the second thing the Division needs, which is an engaging environment. No one can argue that The Division looks great, but does it feel alive? Maybe the aesthetic they're going for is that the world isn't as alive as we'd like it to be, given the apocalyptic plague and all, but adding simple things like Dark Zone checkpoint guards who take potshots at rogues would go a long way in making the world feel more alive. This also goes back to the events and encounters that I mentioned earlier. These are the types of things that make the world feel like a living and dynamic place. The way we interact with the world also needs to be taken into account. I don't think Dark Zone reputation is really enough. We need other forms of recognition that might unlock vendors or certain areas of the map. For example, completing missions for the JTF should increase my rep with them. Killing tons of cleaners should increase my notoriety with them to the point where maybe they start sending people after me or something like that. Anything really that makes the world feel like it's alive and fighting back. Lastly, we need better player interaction and customization. I didn't find a single weapon skin for the entirety of both betas. Skins need to be more common and more outlandish ones should be harder to come by. Looking at you, CSGO. On top of that, the outfits we find need to have way more variety. I realize there's a certain theme they're going for, but a little more color isn't going to kill anybody. Character customization needs a huge boost as well. I know some of the customization was locked in the betas, but if what I saw of the character customization was any indication of what was locked, it's definitely going to need a huge improvement. I also found the online hub placement a little strange. It was really far back. You kind of had to fast travel in order to get to that area so you could see other people walking around. And you know what? A pointing emote couldn't hurt either, right? You need to point in directions in the Dark Zone and be like, yo, the rogue went that way, something like that. Oh, and trading, I almost forgot to mention this. Even if they make it so that you can only trade to members of your squad, that's fine, right? It's this whole interaction of I'm in a squad, but we can't actually see each other's gear. We can't even inspect each other, let alone trade. Now, I know they said in the video that they're going to add it, but they didn't say a release date or anything of that nature. We need this in the game as soon as possible. Anyways, that's it for this video, guys. I added a few other things on my wish list in the description below. But other than that, I'm really looking forward to playing this game tomorrow. It's already a good game. I just hope that it's a great game. Make sure you subscribe for more content on The Division, and I will see you guys next time.